If you ask me, okay, what is your gender? I say, I'm a woman. And you can't say, why are women identified? I decide my gender, you respect it, you don't judge me. Most of us are school dropouts because of the social fear, because of the self-fear, because of the self-hesitance. We have only one janma. This janma is enough. Next janma, I don't believe. Soul, I don't believe. You are dead, you are dead. So within the time period that you are born and you are going to die, that period you need to celebrate your life. Enjoy the life. Enjoy the way you are. That's why I'm enjoying our life.
Yes, today we have someone who's an extraordinary person, a prominent activist for the transgender community. Well, we have Akkai Padmashali today. First, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀರಿ?
I am a Kannadati. I am born, brought up in Bengaluru, Chamrajpet. I identify myself as a woman. When I visioned to be a woman, my mother asked, do you have vagina? Do you have uterus? Do you have breast? Can you feed your child or can you satisfy a man? I said, no, I don't have. So at the age of 8 years, when I realized I'm no more a boy and I'm a girl, that confidence came to me. I think my determination, my commitment, my sense of responsibility, my social responsibility is to speak for the voiceless communities of this whole society. For a cup of tea and tea biscuit, that was my survival. For that, I'm supposed to have sex in public spaces. Many people, 25 years ago, we were throwing stones at us. People were throwing eggs at us, tomatoes at us, spoiled cucumbers at us, motion at us, cow dung at us. We have faced it. And small children, hey, kalla, kalla, kalla. They all were, coming behind us. They were chasing us. We all were running like anything.
So I want to break this down into a few things. One, education, then employment, then relationship, and then afterwards. So let's begin with education. And before that, I would like to know the population count of the community in our country and in our state.
This question you should ask with my governments. I don't have an answer. The 2011 census, the national enumeration when Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister, the enumeration told 4.86 lakhs. 4.86 lakhs, almost 5 lakhs people. The Election Commission of India recent figures told us 48,000 have been registered for voting. And where are the rest 4 lakhs? Where is my population? Where is my census? Where is my enumeration? So who is responsible? Any survey, any population that you want to go, refer according to the science, it says 10% of the state and national population are belonging to the LGBTQ community. What is my state population? 7 crores, Karnataka state. 10%, 70 lakhs in plus. You got it. Adana bittibidi. Hardly 5 lakhs ge on the recognition. My people are not in the open closet because of your social discrimination, because of your torture, because of your violence, because of your discrimination, and because of your notion you're killing us. You're making us not to come open and to speak about this.
So they don't disclose. They either disclose as they recognize themselves as men or women, but don't disclose.
When they are alone, they say I'm a man and woman. When they come to our community, they say I'm a Koti, I'm a Jogappa, I'm a Marladi, I'm a gay, I'm a lesbian, I'm a transgender, I'm a hijra.
So gay is considered as a male.
Yeah, they're male.
In the voting, and lesbian is considered as a female. And the third community, and in census there is a third category called transgender. Alva? And that you're saying, according to recent, only 48,000 are registered for voting.
See, if you ask me, Akkai, what is your gender?
And in this sense, how can you even fight for the registration position?
Alva, I think it's a big question to all of us today. And if you ask me, Akkai, what is your gender? I say, I'm a woman. And you can't say, why are women identified? I decide my gender, you respect it, you don't judge me. Alva. So like that in this process, many of us identify as, like ourselves as women and transgender man as man. You got it? So knowing that the figures are very less according to the government records, but as a community, we cross 10% of the country's population. And what is my country population? 1 0.4 billion. Okay, in that 10% means 14 crore belongs to sexual minorities. You minus 4 crores, 10 crore we belong to this country. If you want to do any census, come, work with our organizations, work with our movement.
What is your ask for the government?
We say, please do, our sincere request, please do national enumeration, state enumeration. What is enumeration? People who doesn't understand, getting the background of an individual person, what education background, what social background, what caste, what class, why is it school dropouts, etc. All the information. Your what do you call the economic sustainability mechanism. Many things talks about this.
Rahul Gandhi ಅವರ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನಿಫೆಸ್ಟೋಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಾರೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ಥಾಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್
For a country like India, as the largest democracy in the world, it is essential that we need to do this caste census, the backward classes census, the upper caste, upper class census is very much required. Why it is required? To frame policies. In my country, we are seeing so many years since, rich is the rich, middle is the middle, poor is the poor. We should balance ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ. See, I say in my own language, ಸೂಳೆಯ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಸೂಳೆನೇ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೂಳೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದಲ್ವೇನ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಚಪ್ಪಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ cobbler's son cannot be a cobbler, no, they can also be doctors and engineers or political leaders. So this philosophy I strongly believe in, and whatever ಯಾರೇ ಆಗಿರಲಿ, I defend that for India a census based on caste, your social background, your education background is required.
We spoke about the population. Yes, definitely there is the count that needs to come into existence and a detailed census has to be done. That's when the policies can be created. Well, when the policies and everything, I think there could be an improvement in education, employment, relationship, status, dignity, everything. That is absolutely true. So talking about the education system, how is the scenario for the transgender people in terms of education? Because I have not seen any transgender women or men in my college, nor I see that situation largely even today. Maybe I studied about 6 to 8 years ago. Even today I don't see that it's a common thing to have a transgender student in a college or a school. How bad is the situation?
I think your question had both question and answer. So where are my people? Why have you only seen in streets? Why I can't see any man, women begging on the streets and signals? Means your social taboo has imposed against us because of our feminine characters. Alba, if you see in this whole room or this whole, this Krishniah Chetty platform, every man, women are working here. Hundreds of people are working here. Where are my people? Not even a single person is inside this campus. Institution of education, only teachers have been occupied, professors, lecturers occupied by man, woman, male, female. So where are transgender people? Most of us are school dropouts because of the social fear, because of the self-fear, because of the self-hesitance, because of self-less or low dignity, decrease of self-esteem. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇರಬೇಕಾ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ?
When are things going to change then?
I think it's a big, I don't have an answer for this, Spoorthi. I think what only I'm saying, the movement should be alive, the movement should be active, and these platforms make such amount of conversation for people to think about this process. Where are we now?
The only point on a human grounds that we have to think is it's not a mistake to be born like this. It's natural. It needs to be accepted. It deserves respect and dignity.
Ashte.
And we need to start valuing every human.
I agree.
It's beyond caste, it's beyond status, it's humanity.
It's so emotionally touching me actually what you're saying. These are the words coming from your heart, and this same heart should be in society.
It's about humanity. When I go back and think about it, it's nothing else but humanity. It's about letting people live the way they want.
Ashte.
You be whatever you want to be and let others be whatever they want to be.
Exactly.
Stop getting into a judgmental notion, and you are nobody to decide who someone else is supposed to be.
Excellent.
right?
Excellent.
I think this change needs to come in the society, and this change, if this happens, a lot of things will change.
True.
And I should be okay to sit beside a transgender man or a woman in my college and treat him just like any other friend.
Ashti.
And I should be okay to sit in my office with a transgender man or a woman, and I should be okay to work with him.
Yeah.
I think then things are going to change.
Right.
I think we have to change. It's not the government, it's not the policies, it's we who have to change. Right? Well, and even the education, there is no reservation. I mean, like employment allu kuda reservations anta enu ilva.
Yeah, I should thank the Supreme Court judgments, the 2009, 2014, 2018 judgments, and the Karnataka government judgment from the High Court of Karnataka, which has recognized the community as equal citizens before Constitution of India. And Karnataka High Court judgment was delivered 1% reservation for education and employment. That has become a model to other states. But what is the process? As I mentioned, there is so much of school dropouts. People are not even past 8th standard, 7th standard. People are not even gone for 4th standard also. Even 10th standard, if you want to occupy your spaces post-graduation, when you not even cross 10th standard, like Akkai, is not past 10th standard. How can I access second PUC, degree, PhD, then going for senior positions is difficult. But the younger generation, like who are coming now, they should be having the spaces. Keeping the judgment, keeping the government policy, we are talking to the gender non-conforming children. Here is the support. Don't worry, you go ahead. People who are really wanting to have this fee structure, people who don't have such support, we talk to the institutions. We ask them to give us some concession. You got it? So this is how you're doing this conversation, and to uphold the High Court judgments. And this judgment should be becoming the acts. You got it? To become an act who speaks in the floor. Alva. So knowing the issues of the community should be there to bring up this so-called social construct changes, like how Ambedkar did. No, Alva. I think it's a long way. If you're telling that we want to give one, for only one, there are 10 system needs to change. And each system does not people like you. Each system is so conservative. It has its own social construct. So how do you lobby with this social construct is a big question. And it takes time. And we are living in India.
That answers it all, yeah. Well, so we spoke about education and employment, and I'm a little bit happy that things are changing, but I'm not happy that it's taking a long time. My question remains the same still, that until when? So I believe and hope and pray that the change happens sooner, just the way you couldn't wait for 2 years. And I believe and hope that you will not wait for things to change, but you will, voices like you and your community and organization like On The Day will take faster actions to make a difference for a lot more, a bigger community of yours,
Sure.
right? So talking about few more aspects, which is very, very important, marriage and the relationship. What's the situation for the trans community?
But the section 377 of the Indian Penal Code, which criminalized our existence, it said man, women can have intercourse for procreation. If a man, woman, or a transgender man marrying a cis woman, transgender woman marrying a cis man, or transgender person getting married or being in a relationship, or any relationship, I would say, that was called against the order of nature. My question is simple. What is against, what is order, and what is nature, and who decides this? The colonial perspective of the British rule was accepted by India, and thanks to the Honorable Delhi High Court of 2009 judgment, it said consensual sex between adults in privacy is not punishable. Judgment spoke about constitutional morality. The 2014 judgment recognized transgender community as equal citizens before Constitution of India. Such a wonderful judgment. Such a wonderful judgment. We all celebrated the move. 2018 said we are no more criminals in the country. Justice Deepak Mishra judgment was one of the very deepest judgments. And Justice Indu Malhotra, she says, history needs to owe an apology for the movement of sexual minorities and to their family members. And she quotes and she says why society needs to apologize. Because this society of its notion was torturing, discriminating against this movement as well as family members. What a wonderful quote by Justice Indu Malhotra. You know, the 2023 judgment on the marriage equality, your question, like replicates here. Marriage equality cannot be considered as a fundamental right for LGBTQ community. That was disappointing judgment. How can a system of justice can say that even it is not a fundamental right for sexual minorities? Then for whom should be the fundamental right? If it's only for legitimate for man and woman, I would take my objection on this. You can enjoy the liberty of marriage. You can enjoy the livelihood options. You can enjoy the parenthood options. But why can't we as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender people? So then you are in one-sided. You're totally one-sided. So I would say, whatever law says, whatever society says, I want to live for myself because I'm a human being. If you pinch, it hurts. If you chop, there's a red blood. There's a song which comes to me in Kannada. ಯಾಕೆ ನೀವು ಕೊಲ್ಲುತ್ತೀರಿ ಗೊಡ್ಡು ಧರ್ಮದ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳಿಂದ ನಾವು ನೀವು ಒಂದೇ ಅಲ್ಲವೇ ಕೆಂಪು ರಕ್ತದ ಮಾನವರು ಅಲ್ವಾ? Whatever you are, if you just chop me, red blood.
I just had goosebumps.
You got it. So angiddaga, so this is the situation, but how do we, how are we going to address this? So whatever law society says, I want to live for myself. I'm a human being, yeah. I have my feelings. That's why I say, raise in love, don't fall in love.
Absolutely.
You got it. Marry, be and enjoy this humankind. We have only one janma. This janma is enough. Next janma, I don't believe. Soul, I don't believe. You are dead. So within the time period that you are born and you are going to die, that period you need to celebrate your life. Enjoy the life. Enjoy the way you are. That's why I'm enjoying our life.
Beautiful. So with this whole conversation of 1 hour, all I understand is you're asking nothing, only rights and dignity. That's all. Alva? Respect and dignity is all that you're asking. And equal status to let you live. Beautiful. So we spoke about quite a lot of things. Now, Akkai, that brings me to a quite curious questions, but which can even break the questions of a lot of people who are watching this, interview. This is common man's question. ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಜೆಂಡರ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಬಂದು ಬೆಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ದೇರ್ಸ್ ಅ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನಂಬಾರ್ದು, ಇವರು ದೇ ಆರ್ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ರಿಯಲ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಜೆಂಡರ್. ಒಂದು. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್, ತುಂಬ ಮಿಸ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ತುಂಬ ಕ್ರೈಮ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ವಿಲ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಇನ್ ಟು 3 questions. ಒಂದು, ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಜೆಂಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಫೇಕ್ ಇಟ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್?
If I reverse the question, ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋರು, ಗಾಡಿಲಿ ಬರೋರೆಲ್ಲ ಗಂಡಸರು ಹೆಂಗಸರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಜೆಂಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಫೇಕ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸ್ಬೋದು. ಈಗ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ಬರೋರು ಗಂಡಸರು ಹೆಂಗಸರು ಅಂತ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನಾವು ನಂಬೋದು ಅವರನ್ನು? ಸೊ ಹೂ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಟಿ? ಹೂ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ದ ನೋಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಜೆಂಡರ್? ಯು ಗಾಟ್ ಇಟ್?
ಬಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾರು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಜೆಂಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಜೆಂಡರ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ವೇಷ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡೋಂಥದ್ದು ಸರಿನಾ? ಅಥವಾ
ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ our people who are begging in signals, in shops, on streets are from the community. They are our people. They belong to Hijra community.
So is there a way that you'd identify them?
Howdo? See, because as I told you, the social expectation. Man means masculine voice, women means soft voice, cover body, etc. Angಬೇಕು. If a person who is born like this, wanting to become like the process of transformation from your sex to gender, it also shows, even ನನ್ನ ಧ್ವನಿ ಈ ಥರ ಇದೆ and I look like this. ಆದರೆ ಸಮಾಜ ಇವರು ತುಂಬ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇವರು ಹೆಂಗಸಲ್ಲ ಗಂಡಸಲ್ಲ, ಇವರು ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಸ್ಟಿರಿಯೋಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. You got it? But what I'm saying on camera and before this platform, they are all our people. There may be misused a men wearing sari like a transgender person and harassing women or doing any sort of mischief things in public, we will not accept. Same men also harass us in signals. They pinch our private parts. ನಾವು ಬಲೂನ್ ಇಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೀವಾ ಏನಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೀವಾ ಅಂತ ಪಿನ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಚುಚ್ತಾರೆ. ಆವಾಗ ನಾವು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು? ವೆನ್ ಯು ಸೇ ಸೋಷಲ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಹರಾಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಅದರ್ ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ಸ್. ನಾವೇ ಮಾಡೋರು, ಅವರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ವೇನ್ರಿ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಅದು ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಯಾರು ನಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳ ಹತ್ರ ನಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಗಂಡಸದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಲುಕಿಂಗ್ ಸೋ ಗಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕೆನ್ನೆಗಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ತೊಡೆ ಮುಟ್ಟೋದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ನನಗೆ ಅದು ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಗಾಟ್ ಇಟ್? ಈಗ ಎನಿ ಸಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಚ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಡ್. ಯು ಗಾಟ್ ಇಟ್? ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮುದಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ನಾವು ಕಲಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಹೆಂಗೆ ನಾವು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆಚೆ. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಜನ ತುಂಬ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ದೇ ನೋ ಹೌ ಟು ಡ್ರೆಸ್, ದೇ ನೋ ಹೌ ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್, ದೇ ನೋ ಹೌ ಟು ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಇನ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಹೊರಗಡೆಲ್ಲ ಪಾಠಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸಂಘಟನೆಗಳು, ಸಮುದಾಯಗಳು ಕೆಲಸ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
If the majority of, I mean, the population, as you say, is 10%, why is there not a special school to just educate them?
ಅಯ್ಯೋ, ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅನದರ್ ಐಸೋಲೇಷನ್ ಐ ವುಡ್ ಸೇ. ಏನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್, ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಜೆಂಡರ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್, ಒಂದು ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಮನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಗೆ ಮನೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಜೆಂಡರ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೌಸ್ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಇವಾಗ ಏನು ಹಾಕಿದಾರಲ್ಲ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಹಾಕಿದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತು? ಒಳ್ಳೆ ರೆಡ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಇದೆ. ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ? ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಜೆಂಡರ್ ತಾನೇ, ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕಿಡ್ನಾಪ್ ಮಾಡೋ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋ, ಬೆಂಕಿ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೊಡೀರಿ, ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಓಡಿಸಿ, ಈ ಥರ ಆ್ಯಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ. ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ಕಾಂಬ್ಯಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಫಿಯರ್?
But isn't that a little better than not even having an education?
But we are not for that as a movement. But we say any education, any system should be mainstreaming. ನಿಮ್ಮಗೂನು ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ಓದಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಓದಬೇಕಲ್ವೇನ್ರಿ? ದಟ್ಸ್ ಹೌ ಯು ಫೀಲ್. ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಸಿಟ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಅ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಜೆಂಡರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಜೆಂಡರ್ ವುಮನ್, ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್ ವಿತ್ ದೆಮ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಮೇನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಲುಕಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್. ನೋ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಸ್, ನೋ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಶೆಲ್ಟರ್, ನೋ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಹೌಸಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಡ. ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಟಾಯ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್, ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಬೆಡ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ಸ್. ಅದೆರಡೇ ನಾವು ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗಾನ್, ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತು ನೋಡಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಪರ್ಸನ್ ವಿತ್ ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಸಮುದಾಯಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
So it becomes very difficult to go to malls, theaters.
I don't even imagine.
How do you really handle that?
25 years ago, 20 years ಈಗ ಮಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಗಳು, ಈಗ ಒಂದು 15 ವರ್ಷ ಮುಂಚೆ ಮಾಲ್ಗೆ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. I think my colleague Rakshita and other people have faced this and we have faced it. ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಾಲ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರವೇಶ ಇಲ್ಲ. They do like this. What embarrassment, yeah? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಆಗಿರೋರು ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಾನೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್? ಮಾಲ್ ಬರೀ ಫ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರಾ? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಂಥ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸಸ್, ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ನಿರ್ಬಂಧ, and we should fight against this. It's a public space.
Even today there is no designated toilets and spaces.
ಇಲ್ಲ. I recently founded the Karnataka Judicial Academy. They have made a separate toilet for transgender. I'm so happy. I think many times the judiciary of this country is standing with the movement. I'm so happy it is happening because of the judicial thinking process. ಅದು ಆಗಬೇಕಿನ್ನ ಸಮುದಾಯಗಳಿಗೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಕಾಮನ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಡು ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಅಂತ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ, ಪುಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಜೆಂಡರ್ ಒಂದು ಟಾಯ್ಲೆಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ದಾಗ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಟಾಯ್ಲೆಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್. ನಾವು ಉಚ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ನಾವು ಕಕ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಯಾಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು? ಸೊ ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ದಿಸ್? ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ 6 to 8 o'clock ಬಂದಂತೆ, ಸಂಜೆ ಮತ್ತು ಫುಲ್ 6 to 8 ಓಪನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಬಂದು ಮತ್ತು 6 to 8 o'clock ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಓಪನ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್? ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಜಾಗಿಂಗ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋರಿಗೆ, ಜಾಗಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋರಿಗೆ. ಮತ್ತು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು? ನಮಗೊಂದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಇದೆ, ನಮಗೊಂದು ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಇದೆ, ನಮಗೊಂದು ಪ್ರೈವಸಿ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವೇನ್ರಿ? ನಾನು ಟು ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಫ್ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಮೈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಆರ್ ವಿತ್ ಮೈ ಫಿಯಾನ್ಸೆ, ವಿತ್ ಮೈ ಲವರ್, ವಿತ್ ಮೈ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದೇ ಆರ್, I feel so strange. I feel so fear to go and sit in public space to talk to my partner and hold hand like this. ನೀನು ದಂಧ ಮಾಡೋ ಬಂದಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Sex work, have you come here to do for sex work? If I just hold my, the assumption, no, they don't even understand who is daughter, who is sister, brother, lover. So how do you bring this education? That's only possible through the sex education models.
Right. So you're speaking about your marriage. You got married and your partner completely accepted, and this is quite shocking to me that I didn't know about the divorce. If you want to share openly, what is this transition? Because you celebrated your marriage, everywhere it was on news, people said that you are happy, and then you adopted a child, and then now this. What is this?
I was in the relationship of marriage, married to a cis man.
Cis man andre?
Identifies as a man.
Okay.
Born male, identifies as a man. Like normal ನಿಮ್ಮ husband ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ.
Okay, cis man. That's cis man. Okay.
Yeah, cis man, married to them, to a very conservative family, to a family where they didn't accept Akkai's identity. It was all fake. Because Akkai is a public figure, Akkai is recognized globally, all these things has happened. And the amount of
The family didn't accept, or the person accepted you?
the so-called ex-husband and their family. And it was all dramatic actually. It was all a sort of cooked stories, I would say. If Akkai comes, how the family should behave. You got it? And I think somewhere I felt it was cheated.
You got cheated.
Got cheated by this family institution of marriage. And with me, they were saying I am not supposed to go outside the village. I am not supposed to talk to other in the relatives of the thing. If they all come, I should be sitting inside this dark room and I should not show my face. I did.
Which year did you get married?
2017 was my inter-religious marriage ritual happened in SEM House, Bangalore. 2018 I got registered my marriage as a female, and the first marriage to be registered in the state of Karnataka. Okay, that thing. And when they told me not to come outside the room, I was in dark room, put there. I did for 6 months. I was in that situation. But as an activist, I should not be untrue to myself. I should be the truth. If I'm fighting against society about discrimination, non-acceptance, etc., that should also happen within inside, no? So then I said, I'm an activist and I can't be fake activist. What I say, I do. If this works, this works. If it doesn't work, this doesn't work. I said, no, sorry, I can't sit inside anymore. I want to come out. I want to be in public.
If you won't speak, then who else will?
Exactly. Others questioning this amount of domestic violence within the institution of family or marriage institution. Who will speak, yeah? I said, sorry. Then I went outside this village and I talked to them. Knowing that people say, hey, Chakka, hey, Wambattu, hey, Koja, hey, ivrna madve agidya, avrne madve agidya. There was not a single word of justification. Not a single word of justification. ಹಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ. ದ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೈ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಸೈಡ್, ವಾಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್, ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಫನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೀ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಗಿಫ್ಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಲರ್ನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೆಮ್. Okay, and this all happened. There was so much of torture. They asked me to get some money. They try, they were demanding for me to build their house, and we did so. My parents supported me a lot. I took some loan for that family to be fulfilled, etc. And everything was okay. And it's a very big family. All these family members are so strange. It's so difficult for me to accept. And as a transgender person, I'm not supposed to throw my voice. This fellow, no, hey, melling matado. Nindu voice tarbeda. What melling matado? My voice is like this only. What is melling matado? And I think somewhere compromising my identity was very difficult for me. And I said, no, not possible. I want to be what Akkai is Akkai. And you please don't put me makeup and ask me to just shut my mouth. So this was happened. And when Avin came in our life, that we decided to go for adoption, everything happened. That family was so difficult, and it said, this baby cannot be accepted. This baby is not belonging to our so-called biological family, intercoursed, process of having a delivered child. So we cannot accept for that baby. Someone is father, someone is mother. We don't want to accept. So that was attitude. Then being in like relationship, what does it matter to me? For me, my child is more important than you people. Knowing the child's background, knowing Akkai's background. You yourself is not accepting me. Then what happens to the situation of the child? I said no. Right to love, right to marriage is my right. Right to divorce is also my right. So 3.5 years, I'm out of that institution. Divorce process has almost done. In the, I think 27th is the hearing. Just going to take up the decision. I'm happy. It's good to be single. It's good to be alone. You want men, and I'm a heterosexual woman. I also I also have sexual feelings. I also want to perform sexual act. There are so many friends who can, we can have. What matters in the politics of sexuality? It's consent and willingness, and I do have that. And I want to be a good single parent, single mother to my child, and that's Akkai. And I will be a good mother. I will be a good single parent to my child. But the problem is here with the education institutions, Who is father? Baby's father. Where are the documents produced, etc. So this is where the government needs to intervene and say,
So the baby is legally adopted.
yes, legally adopted.
Okay, so legal guardian and legal mother, if you are, then I think it shouldn't be a
Yeah.
problem. So your child, how old is your child now?
4 years, 10 months. July 7th, baby is going to step for the 5th year.
Fifth year. And is it only you both living together, right?
Yes, we both are living together.
Okay.
And I lost my father, I lost my brother, I lost my first husband, and
Okay.
we both are living with my mother.
Okay, right. And what's your plan for your child to live like anybody else in the society?
I'm quite fear about to respond to this question. Akkai is okay. Baby is also okay. If tomorrow baby is going to play with the small children there, what would be the reaction of those children's parents? If they say, people know it having belongs to Akkai. If they assume that incident of not to see my face to the child, the same situation occurs while playing, while studying together, while eating together, while living together. If people say your mother is a transgender, it seems this incident had come once in my life. Okay, I did not have patience to fight, but I was thinking what I should do. So I'm really wanting to build an environment of acceptance, an environment for Avin to say that I belong to the society. And I say, Avin is not only Akkai's child, Avin is society's child. And society has this social responsibility of nurturing and nurturing children like Avin. Avin is not only about Akkai's child, there are so many Avins who have been adopted by many other transgender women, many sex workers, many Devadasis. So these children are part of society, and the society needs to take this responsibility without any judgmental attitude.
Beautiful. Okay. Currently, in 2024, we are sitting. What are some of the major challenges that you're fighting for the community?
For the community, very interesting question. Yes, definitely. Series of judgments, series of progress, series of globally. If you go back and see, the Russian government has terrorized the movement. The Uganda parliament has passed a legislation against the movement, saying it is criminal, not acceptable, they'll be done death penalty. And for India, it can't be like that, because we are praising every dharmas, every sacred. We are talking about Ambedkar's constitution morality, and we are part of the Indian largest democracy here. I would say for my community, it's about how do you bring up the social justice, the economic justice, the political justice. Until you occupy these spaces, it is very difficult to speak or even think about the next 20th generation. What are we fighting is not for this situation or this generation, it's for next upcoming 5 to 10 years of generation. And this society also needs to think, what is next 5 years? What is next 5 years? What is next 50 years? Think in that context of building a community movement of fighting for justice. But fighting for justice is one side, but how long you fight? How long you fight? If your whole life is a fight, where is your joy? Where is your celebration? Where is your happiness? And many of my movement leaders or my movement itself doesn't have that peace, doesn't have that patience. Because we get up, we always think about what is our bread and butter today. In the meantime, the LGBTQI+ community is not only about the working class or the middle class. There are so many people who are from the upper class, upper caste, economically well off, access to information, so many things are there. They're good people as well. So like that, I think it's also building this bridge between these sections, you know. But 2024 is a challenging year to access our rights for future. For that, organize, agitate and educate. This is a priority as an activist, as a
Organize, educate,
agitate.
Okay.
And yes, the political representation for sexual minorities in parliament, in state assemblies is a must. It needs to be done on priority to speak for our own rights.
How far has it come in the ask?
Last 2 years ago, the Karnataka Coalition for Gender and Sexuality Minorities Coalition has launched this. We are taking this move. We are meeting the chief ministers, the deputy chief minister, and meeting the president's, prime minister's office, reaching out, and we are bringing this public campaign for people to speak about this issue and to understand this. And especially thanks to very few leaders who are speaking within system of justice, like D.K. Shivkumar, Shashi Tharoor, you got it. With Harun Jaitley, who is no more with us, Sushma Swaraj, who spoke in favor of the community, I mean the transgender community, Veerappa Moily. Very few people and leaders are thinking like this, and some hopes because of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, where Rahul Gandhi's movement is beyond any sort of the country's position. I think I would say it's the third Freedom March movement. It's third Freedom March movement that has gone from south to north, east to west. You got it. So I think this is what we're looking as a community. Yeah. We want, as I mentioned, we don't want to make any sort of wisdom, name, fame. No, born human being, we are going to die. Let us die for the cause. No, peace and justice and acceptance. That's what we're wanting.
Right. One personal question, Akkai. While having all this conversation, this kind of, puts a trigger in my mind that in this journey of your life, have you ever felt that you have done mistakes and have you regretted about it? If yes, what are those?
I had a mistake of taking a decision of marrying.
Okay.
I was against the institution of marriage. Some of my feminist friends said, you should marry and bring your own society. Somehow that didn't work. That was a failure, but I'm seeing so much of success after divorce. Second thing is about why Akkai didn't pursue education. I did a mistake. Wherever you go, people know you as a good speaker, very good critique. She challenges society, everything is fun. People ask for your paper education. Please show me your PhD certificates, degree certificates. And I say, I'm sorry. I myself, I'm a PhD. I'm a degree. Then why I should produce the certificates? I think because to justify the so-called society, you also need a certain amount of, paperwork that needs to. I think that's what I learned in this process, but I did a mistake.
Right. I don't know if I have to ask this question, but I want to ask this question, and I'm sorry if
Please ask.
I am wrong in this question because I don't know. I cannot come to a judgment whether I'm asking a wrong question or not. Society believes sex work is a wrong job. It's not right thing. Have you ever felt that? And if yes, what is your thought on that?
Sex work is a work. Sex work should be legalized. If not legalized, let sex work be as decriminalized. If you want to be an anchor, it's your wish. If I want to be a sex worker with willingness, choice, consent, and what is your business? I don't want to trouble you. I don't want to traffic you. I don't want to force you to be a prostitute, but I want to be a dignified sex worker. I want to sell my body, and I'm asking the client to give me 50 rupees, 100 rupees, take my body, have the fraction of second of the sexual intercourse, and you go yourself, and I be myself. I think the notionized of not speaking the word, the three beautiful letter and one word, sex. Sex is an art. Sex is a question. Sex is power. Sex is money. Sex is authority. Sex is part of your life. So my body is here. I'm here to sell my body. So please, if you want, come and take my body and pay me the money. Otherwise, you please be quiet. But you cannot say you don't do this work, you don't do that work. Like Paura Karmikas who sweep the streets, no. Jagada Bharake Nama Noga. Jagada Bharake Nama Noga means nama back. People every day, thousands of times they do like this, You got people was feeling that it was very bad profession only for SC/ST. You got it. And same thing with cleaning chambers is also only for Holiyas and Madhkas. People were saying that. But today, that occupation is been occupied by many people.
Right.
Alva, same thing with our Savita Samaja people. Cutting only should be done by Savita Samaja people. That has become fashion. Anyone can go and learn this, what do you call, the bridal training, beautician, haircut, saloon, etc. It is globally occupied, profession.
So are you saying sex workers also deserve respect and dignity?
Oh, no compromise on it. You should respect us. You should give us our rights of defending.
And this is not my question, this is a generic question, that when you speak about culture, it's never accepted. Sex working and all of these things, it's against that anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So what's your talk on what's your say on that?
Since Ramayana, Mahabharata, in all our things we have seen how sex work was being part of the Indian tradition and culture. The Khajuraho sculptures have spoken about this. Our like Krishna's story, protecting women, and equal 16,000 women were wives of Sri Krishna. It's a story was told for us. I'd never seen Krishna, but it was there. And Sita Rama, Sita was sent to Vanavasa, no? So how do we defend Sita? So Sita was agitating against the men dominance.
Right.
Alva. So how do we see this lens from a women's perspective is my concern and question. Always only men point of view, men concern. No, sorry, I'm not for it. Harihara Putra Ayyappa. Ayyappa is referred as a gay man. I can challenge the grounds of science. All my scientists, please make a note of this. A man and man having sex for sex, then procreation happens, and the procreation is something called Ayyappa. I don't agree. This becomes Purana stories, stories. How can a man and man performing sex and emerging a child, that becomes Ayyappa? So all these stories are teaching us so much of false information. You got it? Ardha Narishwara Shiva. Ardha man, Ardha woman. Two powers becoming together. And that Ardha Narishwara is always referred to transgender and the Hijra community. So you want to be so dual stand in your existence of acceptance that transgender people should only be accepted culturally, but not socially, not economically, not educationally, not politically. What is the dual stand here? What my language of Constitution of India speaks. It says accept whatever you are. I'm a human being, I'm like this. You are a human being, you are like this, but accept before the Constitution as equal citizens. No discrimination on the grounds of profession, eating food, wearing dress, the race, the identity, the sexuality, none of your business. You have equal right to live in this Constitution of India. I also have an equal right to live in this Constitution of India.
It's only about consent of two people.
Ashte. Accept first, get the knowledge or information, then accept the way you are. So you don't want to judge us. I don't want to judge you. I want to understand your process and to respect whatever you are. I may be having my differences, and differences means cannot be killing, hitting, differences on our ideological perspective. But sex work is a work. It should be considered a dignified profession, and our Supreme Court judgments has stood in the movement of sex workers and sexual minorities of supporting the rights of sex workers. I'm so hats for that judgments. I think the society needs to accept the way what it is today.
Perfect. Okay, so sometimes, I know a lot of you are watching this episode, and definitely it is not possible for us to convince each one of you, nor this episode is to tell you that you shouldn't be thinking the way you are. But I would urge and I would request you to think on the humanity grounds and beyond your religion, beyond your caste, beyond your sex, beyond your gender, beyond everything. We are humans, and we all are Indians, and we all deserve to have equal rights and equal opportunities, good the respect and the dignity that all of us deserve. And each one of us, whether it's male, female, transgender woman, transgender male, or anybody irrespective of it, deserves respect and dignity. That is all the message that we wanted to give in this entire episode. And I'm damn sure if this has changed the thought process of a few of you, then it serves the purpose. This episode or this Real Celebrity podcast is in no intention to become famous, nor earn money, nor to create any publicity. Here, we are clearly intending to give the right information to get it from the right source, to convey message which is from heart, and to make a small difference in this society. And that's all we wish for. So Akkai, your message to all those people in a phase struggling for their gender identity.
So for within community, I would say, let's not put ourselves down. Let's be pride and proud moment of celebrating our identities. For the social message, I would say, judge not, support gender identity. Judge not, support sexual diversity. Nanu Nimma Akkai. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akkai. This conversation, though, I'm very proud for two reasons. One, I've always respected the community, and I've been seeing you from last 7 years, and I feel very happy about my upbringing, the way that my mother has raised me with zero judgments. And sitting next to you, I feel very proud that I respect everyone, and I have that values within myself to see everyone equally.
Sure.
And I'm very thankful to my mom that today I'm sitting next to you with the same respect that I have for everyone, for you and your community.
Thank you.
So I believe that this has to be transferred to every single child, and that messaging has to go even when you're traveling on a road. When somebody comes in, the right information from the parent to a child should go, rather than avoiding them giving wrong information, putting their own judgments on the children. I think that is where the actual change begins. So I wish those small changes is what we want to convey through this whole podcast. And thank you for being so transparent. Thank you for being so genuine. And I really wish that the policies will come into existence and faster, just like the way you
And
took
the political
action.
representation.
Yes, and the political representation. And that can bring in a lot of difference and change if your community, there is a person who represents and talks for the rights and the dignity. Thank you so much, Akkai, and it's a honor and pleasure to
Thank
have you. I really wish you and the entire community a highest respect and dignity that you deserve.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was Real Celebrity Podcast featuring prominent activist Akkai Padmashali. This is Real Celebrity Podcast powered by Krishniah Chetty Group of Jewelers. I'm going to see you with another exciting and informative episode very soon. Until then, stay tuned. Namaskara.